So I'm Titus Arce, I'm from DLSU. I've been in the advertising industry for decades. So anyway, um, of course it always starts with the client brief. So normally you meet and align on what the objectives of the project will be. And then after the briefing, what will happen is there will be internal briefings. If you involve creatives, media, other partners, so you involve everyone. And then you have an internal brief. And then you set timelines, and then you set requirements. The account management basically is the one who takes care of all of this. So there's a shot list, and then there's a timeline, presentation schedules, then you coordinate with the client. And then from there, well, this is just really very basic. So you present to client, they agree on it, you cost it out, and then you implement it if it gets approved. The concept, if the details and the cost gets approved. The three main components is really the concept, the requirement, and then the cost. So those are the three you have to align with at the as you go along. There are many ways of doing it. It really depends on the kind of campaign that you do. So if your campaign is basically traditional media like TV, radio, and print, most media agencies have softwares and proprietary tools to measure primarily reach, frequency, meaning how many times the specific target market sees the material, and then ratings point. The ratings point before was called GRP, which is based on households. But now they're able to further segment it. So it's total audience ratings point. So basically those are for traditional media. What they do is we present to them a media plan, and then there are already objectives set in terms of reach, frequency, and TARPs, and then there's a post-analysis that's done after the campaign has been done. Then you submit that. If it's a promotion, then of course then it becomes sales driven. So the number of participants, if it's a raffle, the number of people who joined the promotion, or the number of winners, or if it created incremental sales before and during the... It's easy to measure, but I think the concern on measuring promotions campaign is that there are other factors involved aside from the promotions itself that determine the success of the campaign. So it's not just the promotion. If you have other activities ongoing at the same time as the promotion, then it doesn't become just about the promotion. So it's hard to actually blame or attribute a certain success or failure of a product to a specific campaign. And I think that's one of the pitfalls of some marketing groups or marketing companies or clients or agencies, when they start blaming advertising alone for a success or a failure of a campaign. So because of course nothing operates on its own, so everything affects everything, diba? So if you have a good marketing plan, if you have a good advertising campaign, if you have identified your target market really well and you have identified the key contact points and everything, but your distribution is lousy, so at the point of sale, mawawala ka. So, diba? You can't just measure effectivity based on the advertising alone. The thing with small budgeted projects is that it demands the same attention as the big projects. So, in the agency's eyes, whether it's small or big, you have to follow a certain procedure. And just for the quality of it, siguro, you have to go through the whole process. And the small budgeted projects are probably more time consuming because you have to contend with factors that are actually beyond your control, like money, all the other stuff. But the satisfaction that you get with a small budgeted project is most of the time it comes from small clients, and if their business grows, they love you endlessly. Then they'll stick with you. So I think it's really the other component of being a good agency is taking care of good relationships with clients. Taking their business as if it's your own. Being accountable for what it is that you give out to them because they trust you with their money, diba? So whether it's small or big, it's the same. It consumes the same amount of time. In terms of man-hours, lugi ka talaga, but in terms of relationships, if you want to grow the business with a certain client, even if it's small, and you think there's a possibility of helping them make their business grow, then go for it. There are certain, before TV was the main, because everyone has TV. Print wasn't distributed widely, and then radio came in and everyone was listening to the radio. So sa probinsya lalo, radio is still one of the most effective. In urban areas, there was a time when print peaked, and up to now, because TV is becoming very expensive, print has become viable and a favorite, especially if you're doing promotions or doing content. If your content is about education, or if you want to do something different. But But right now, TV is still the most used because it reaches far wider and you can actually do more. Sometimes it's really a matter of what media do you use. So if you want to say something more in the details, you can't do that with TV. Otherwise, you'll have to buy content or create content and then air it, and it would be really expensive. But if you put it in print, mas mura siya, di ba? Then you can fill up the whole page with whatever you want in detail. So it's just really a matter of who your target is. Right now, digital and social media, interactive media, is becoming very popular, but very few advertisers are looking into it because they don't know yet what to do with it. I would imagine it would just take 2 or 3 years and everyone would be going into Facebook and totally exploiting it and doing something about it. In like really evolved markets like Tokyo or Japan, digital has become one of the primary media. You Google what Uniqlo did recently for a promotion, and you would notice that they didn't use any traditional media. Everything was online. because they know that their key market is wired 24/7. Not through computers, but through their phones. In Japan, if you have a phone, you can do anything.